tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
What? Jazz hands, spirit fingers. Woo! Yeah. Yes.
I was into it, but it was like short-lived. It was short-lived.
That was different than usual, but still very good.
Yes.
Still very good. Well, hello everybody, and thank you so much for joining us tonight for our reclap.
Oh my God! Did you guys see that? I had to do it with my head. Because I had my phone in my hand.
He's trying to gram.
You slapped your head?
I was like, because I had my phone in my hand. You know, one time I was like looking at my phone and people were like, Tony's so rude, he's on his phone. Well, I'm like tweeting everyone and all that kind of stuff, and now I'm done.
Yes. And we are live on the chat roll as well, guys.
Yes.
We like to get social up in here.
We are. We're very social, very chatty. I've had my Diet Coke, which I haven't gotten to have one in a really long time. So thank you for joining us for our recap for Dance Moms. Season 5, episode 27, the show that never ends.
This is the show that doesn't end.
Do you guys know that we have been here continuously for 7 months?
You guys have.
Yeah.
You know, I give or take.
Yeah.
Candice has.
Well, I mean, I did take a couple times out to go
Live
see
life.
take my child to see her grandparents. I mean, you know, it happens. But
You slacked a little bit.
I slacked.
You missed a week, but
I know, Jay. I am a slacker.
Yeah.
Yes, but. Speaking of that long run, JJ brought it to my attention that here at AFTERBUZZ TV, we
have a secret.
What is
Tell
it?
everyone. You're going to tell them. We're #1, you guys.
Yes.
Yeah. That means that our fans are the #1 fans at AFTERBUZZ TV this week.
Yes.
It's all because of you guys, so thank you.
Yes, so that's exciting for us. We just wanted to say thank you. If you're listening to us out there on SoundCloud and iTunes, please continue listening. Give this video us 5 stars and give this video a thumbs up. If you are watching on YouTube and you haven't already subscribed, please go to YouTube /AfterBuzz TV. Subscribe and keep those comments coming. You can tweet us directly at #ABTV Dance Moms. You can tweet me directly, and I do realize I have fallen off the Twitterverse a tiny bit, but I am ready to put those boots back on. So you can tweet me directly at Candice_Camacho, and I will respond. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, guys, tweet me too at J2 Snyder. Love talking to you during the week.
And of course, you guys can find me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony.
Love it. And I'm everywhere at Christy Reports, and Tony just posted a really cute photo of us. So
Yeah.
hit it up and like that stuff, people.
On Insta. Like it. Love it. We want more of it.
Speaking of photos, don't we have a photo of you, Mr. Moore, from our discussion from last week?
Yes. So
Okay.
this... This
Is that you?
Yes. So last week we were talking about alter egos, and I told you guys for one of my birthdays I did an alter ego photo shoot, and I tried to like pull up the picture. But this was it. So me on the well, if we're looking at it this way, the regular Tony, this was like a backup dancer, and then the androgynous Tony was like a singer, kind of like an Adam Lambert.
Wow.
My inner diva. Came out.
Cool.
So this is a photo of me side by side, and then there's another photo. Is there another photo? So, and this is the actual photo.
Wow.
So it's like me dancing behind.
Cool.
You're backup dancing to your own
Yes.
To my
self.
own self. Yeah.
How did you get?
I want to star in my own life.
I love your pink eyelashes, and
Thank you.
Can I just say that I think you're more handsome just a la natural?
Why, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Candice.
I think that, the purple combination and just the expression on your face, it was enough for me, Tony.
Oh, shucks.
Well, I agree, but I'm a big fan of a full face of makeup. We all know that. So I thought you looked great both
Well,
ways.
thank you.
Yes, you did.
But
You
it's definitely an example of bringing out your alter ego. So I suggest you ladies do that one time. Just find that alter ego, that bad girl inside of you, and just
I'm
whip her out.
super inspired after seeing you do.
You should.
People are actually doing this, and Nia doing this last week.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Do it.
I like it. It's empowering.
Yes.
Yeah.
I encourage it.
Do it up. Step into those high heels.
Luckily, I was wearing flats.
Well, before we get started in the episode, I just want to say that I am now officially a dance mom because
Oh my gosh.
Athena and I are officially enrolled in Mommy and Me Ballet.
Wow.
Yay.
Oh my gosh.
Hi, everybody.
Does she have tiny little dance shoes?
Yes.
How?
wow.
Are you
And,
serious?
So
and
cute.
tights and a leotard.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
You got her little pink ones or black? What'd you do?
course.
Oh
Yes.
my
of
gosh.
course.
My hope is that she's like the little sassy girl in the tap recital. Did you guys see that video of the three girls in the recital? And one, she was like extra sassy, and she was
Yeah.
kind of like telling everyone like, "Hey, we're supposed to be here." I hope she's like that.
I have a feeling she will be. I think she's got that covered as well.
If it's Mommy and Me, does that mean Mommy dances also?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, so I will be there, not in my tights, but I will be there in some kind of stretchy gym clothes.
If we feel you falling deep into this dance mom land, should
Yes.
we
We'll
reel you in?
Pull me back, guys.
Yeah.
Be a friend. Save me. Just let me know. Just have sit down with me and just tell me what's going on.
Yeah.
Don't let you get too crazy, huh?
Joseph Boza, one of our great
hi,
listeners, says,
Joseph.
"Will Candice be a mini Melissa in those dance classes?"
Joseph, come on. I was hoping more for like a Holly or
Oh, a Halikwa?
yeah, a Halikwa or at least a Jezelyn.
How about
not
Jess
don't
had
be-
some.
no,
well,
don't
she
be
had some
her.
drama this week, but we're about to get into that.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
let me
Okay.
know who you think I would mostly replicate on the show. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay. So this is called this episode Abby versus Kiera. Again. Now they definitely should have worked on that title. Then throughout the seasons they've come up with some great titles, but this one
They're just getting lazy.
yeah. Work on that title thing, guys.
Week
Yeah.
27.
Yep. So the
These
moms
could be the final episodes ever, so let's make sure we give it the attention
This
it needs,
is
folks.
true.
Yeah, I think 5 more episodes after tonight.
Oh, reunion.
Pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
They
boy.
can't come fast enough. Did I say that out
What?
loud?
Did you just say that out loud?
I
There are
did.
people
We would like to
watching,
be able to sit
Tony.
and binge watch them all at the same time.
Well, we're scheduled for the 18th, but then you don't know what's going to happen with the other stuff.
They can't come
Reunions.
fast enough. Did I say that?
Well, Abby got a week off. I will
She
say.
did.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the moms, it opens and the moms are having their little powwow outside the studio, and they want to know where Abby is. 4 weeks to nationals, and this week they are headed to Expressions dance competition in Phoenix, Kalani's hometown. And so because the last time that Kalani was up against Ava, she lost. Kiera takes it upon herself to hire Alexa to come in from Arizona to choreograph for Kalani, because apparently she doesn't think that they're at ALDC, they're cutting it. What did you all think of that decision?
Well, I thought it was very interesting how the show kept referring to Alexa as Kalani's former dance teacher, when Kiera at the beginning of this episode very clearly referred to Alexa as Kalani's choreographer, her teacher, her coach.
Yeah.
Right. So we know that this woman still has a big role in Kalani's life, and when she does come in and we hear them talking, she still has been on the sidelines, clearly, with Kalani, and she knows what needs to be worked on. She's concerned, and so at first, of course, we're thinking this is a terrible idea. Just just like last week, but it seemed to make sense once she got there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, why not?
I thought, you know what, though? It kind of made me cringe the way Kiera... I didn't think Kiera had a very good strategy from the very beginning of the episode. Like, she was really awkward with Abby, and I don't know, she just didn't take on like a really positive tone about the whole thing.
Well, I think the whole thing was
just
kind of awkward.
like, oof, yeah, it was awkward.
It was awkward because even the choreographer was awkward. She was just kind of like, I'm not sure how this is going to go
down.
And surprisingly, Abby was just kind of like,
well, just whatever.
She let it happen.
Yeah.
Well, she did the I'm not gonna say anything.
She seemed very overwhelmed to be when we saw her again. But
oh my gosh.
I guess because you know, she, in a way, Abby has thrown her girls under the bus in LA. So I mean, just like Holly took things into her own hands, so is Kiera. I just thought she was overboard by wanting to impress the family so much in Phoenix, and it's like, girl, she's globally known. You know, I know that they've seen her multiple times on stages, television. It's not like her dad has not ever seen her dance.
Yeah. I mean, Kiera kind of, by putting all this pressure on, people are showing up to watch, and it's kind of like the more she made her case, the worse it got, right? Yeah. Because I just felt Abby was stewing.
Well, Abby's whole mood this episode was just kind of like I'm back, but I'm here to do a job. And it wasn't, I don't even feel like it was Abby. I felt like it was her coming in and saying, like, is this how you want me to be? Then this is how I'm going to be.
She's really just going through the motions at this point.
Yeah. And just so icy.
Yeah.
Just so icy.
I thought it was hilarious when she first walked in the studio. And I was writing down her first words. She was like, good, so we ready to go? Okay, torch the day. Turn your foot. Is this what you want?
Ignoring Holly. And Holly's just like, so, you know, you've been gone for a couple of weeks. Bend your back straight. And we just wanted to make sure you point your toe.
We were wondering if maybe we could talk to you about
giving them what they asked for.
Yeah, she's like, the moms wanted class. We're having class.
Yeah. There was just no interaction. She was just, you know, dead face.
Yeah, you know, I have to say my husband was sort of watching over my shoulder as I had this on, and he was like, oh, that's so immature, that's so terrible. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what I would have done. You know, like, just walk in there and give them what they asked for.
You have that moment of like, my way is not working, so I'm just gonna do what you want me to do. Actually, my friends and I thank my friend Jacob for this expression. He says, if you like it, I love it. And that's how you just kind of solve everything. So whenever someone is doing something that you may not necessarily agree with, but you keep bumping heads with that person, and in order to just kind of diffuse, you just go, if you like it, I love it.
I think that I should take a note down.
Ooh, that's kind of icy.
It's kind of
passive.
It is. It's very like, that's how you want it? If you like it, I love it.
Write it down. Let's use that later.
We can use this in our marriages.
Yeah.
That's
a great idea, Candice.
I love it. Thank you, Tony.
I'm going to use that on my Billy at home.
Problem.
Hey, guys, now might be a really good time to talk to you guys. You know, the show is free, this show, and we're all glad that you guys are watching. We know Tony said he loves things that are free.
Yes.
And part of the reason that is because we have awesome sponsors, and we want to tell you about really our favorite sponsor, which is Next Issue, which is a super cool magazine app. If you guys want to check it out, you can go to nextissue.com/ABTV. Why /ABTV? Because you can get a 30-day free trial. So, cool. Christy, you know about this because you like magazines.
Yes, love them. And I like to get the most up-to-date ones, but then I know I've missed things sometimes. Old issues with my favorite celebs on the cover. What's a girl to do?
Yes. How many magazines do you buy in a month?
Probably 6 or so. Maybe 4.
Okay, so the Next Issue app, so you can get all kinds of magazines. Basically, any magazine that you would see for sale in the grocery store is available on this app for $10 a month. So if you buy 2 magazines a month, want to check out this app.
Pays for itself, folks.
Wow, even
It's
the
super cool.
That's
parenting
even better
magazine.
than free.
Yes, there are parenting magazines, my love, and ESPN, Allure, Cosmo, Rolling Stone. I have Elle Decor, House Beautiful, People
Elle
Style
Decor.
Watch. What, Tony?
Wow.
Come on.
Love it.
But the coolest thing is, guys, there's a free trial. Go to nextissue.com/ABTV and, read way up on all your favorite issues.
Wow,
Thank
you.
These Dance Moms girls are starting to get a lot of press coverage. They're in a different magazine every week.
They
No
are
kidding.
So that's useful for the Dance Moms.
very useful.
Yeah.
Thank you, JJ, for that tip.
You're welcome.
Appreciate
Thank you.
that. We are all up to date now. So the next scene, Christy, I was pretty excited about this because you and I got the down low scoop on this at the opening of the ALDC when I was interviewing the Candy Apple's mom. And she revealed that Jeanette was taking over for the Candy Apples. So there's
That's right. You guys
Yes.
heard it here first weeks ago.
That really surprised me, even though you guys told me. It was like, what? Where's
Exactly.
We weren't
Abby?
yanking your chain.
Yeah.
It's, and that's why you guys got to continue listening and continue, supporting us because you do not want to miss any of our recaps because we've got the scoop. We sure do.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks for looking up from your phone, Tony.
you guys
Busted.
Y'all like calling me out,
Finish
don't you?
complimenting ourselves.
I love you.
Well, you know what? I'm having an Abby moment. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, that seems appropriate.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us?
I'm having an Abby.
Sure.
Is she texting you?
No, I'm not having a moment with Abby. I'm just having a very multitasking type of moment.
Okay.
Which is really bad. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
That's all right.
Sorry. I was just, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, the Candy Apples group number, and I feel strange calling them the Candy Apples. I feel like they need just a revamp of everything. But their number is called Famous Infamous. And it's about people who become famous and fall off their rocker, like apparently Abby has done. And Ava will be featured in this group number and we heard this probably 25 times throughout the episode, that the last time she went up against Kalani, she beat her. Mm-hmm. So I'm only going to say that the one time because it was repeated many, many times.
Mm-hmm. Competition.
Yeah. So at that point, Abby walks in, and I was really upset actually for the girls that she didn't watch the solos, that she didn't give credit where credit's due. They had a clean sweep. I thought that was like deserving of something. Didn't you guys?
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised, though, that she had.
I know. I guess I just hopeful, positive Polly over here, just like maybe
You
just,
wanted to believe that she would do the right
did.
thing.
I honestly wouldn't
Even
doubt
after
it.
27 episodes.
no, just throw me a bone, Abby. Throw them a bone, those little kids.
I wouldn't doubt it if she actually did watch them, and she just won't admit it because she just didn't want to give an inch to anybody.
Oh, I'm sure you're right. You're probably right,
That's a good
JJ.
point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
So
Don't make fun of me.
I'm not. I'm flirting with you.
the moms basically beg Abby for 5 minutes of their time to just talk. It was just so funny that instead of saying that going on with the fight about Kiera, she blames it on Jesselyn, which had nothing to do with the fight.
Oh my gosh,
bizarre.
scapegoat.
Strange.
I love how they all went into a different room and the moms had 5 chairs set up and they were all waiting for Abby.
Yeah.
Oh no! What I love was that Abby said, "You guys want 5 minutes?" And she went to Gianna and was like, "Do you have a stopwatch on you? In 5 minutes, come and get me. No questions. Do not let anyone stop you." And Gianna did it.
Yeah,
They
she
literally had 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Yep.
5 minutes.
But why did Jess get all the blame?
So you guys were as confused by that as I was.
I was I was like, do they just need more time in this episode? So they just added this in at the last minute, as an afterthought.
I just thought Abby was like, I'm not even going to deal with Kiera. I'm just going to, when something makes you angry and so you vent at the wrong thing. She just vented at Jess.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
And at the end, Jesselyn was really mad at Kiera for not sticking up for her. And I can kind of see that, and I wasn't expecting, at this point, you don't expect anybody to, stick up to anybody.
Well, yeah, and Kiera hasn't really inserted herself in the drama in a way that's not directly related to her and Kalani at all. in any episode. So I wasn't really expecting her to get into it.
So then we have this scene with Alexa and Kiera, and this whole thing was just revisited so many times. Like, we want to show the world how Kalani can dance, how Kalani is. I mean, and that's great and all, but I mean, you're on a national television show. You know, like, what else do you, like, want to prove out there? It just got to be, like, a little bit old for me. What do you guys think?
The only thing I found interesting in that conversation, I think they were, like, in a little closet alone or in a little room alone, is that I did in that time think, okay, wait, like, Kalani has some history at this other dance studio. And, you know, a lot of us, we're always saying, Kalani's so great, but there's just, like, there's that last, like,
Little piece.
thing that she's just not quite committing to. Yeah. And I begin to feel, oh, well, maybe this gal knows what it is, and maybe it is that she doesn't get given the correct choreography, the right style. Maybe this gal knows how to make Kalani shine.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was kind of the promise of the episode.
Right.
Well, yeah.
So.
But I mean, if she's the one that's been working with Kalani, you know, and she's Kalani's teacher, then of course she knows, you know, she knows how to get Kalani back to be her best. Because apparently, according to her, she wasn't performing like she normally was. So she had to give her like a lot of corrections and things like that to get her back to the way that she knew Kalani could dance.
And once they kept pointing that out so much, I thought, you know, maybe you're right. Now that I think about it, and over time, and when she first came in, the kind of emotion she evoked when she would dance, and I'm not sure if it was just them shoving it down our throats so much, like she's deteriorated, that it sort of by the end I was kind of like, yeah, you know what, maybe she has gone downhill a little bit and needs a refresher.
Yeah. And nothing wrong with a refresher. It's just with all of the components that are happening, it just makes for like a lot of stress for that poor kid. Actually,
It was a lot of stress on her.
And just to bring in someone, whose first priority is Kalani.
What did you guys think of the way that they both approached Abby when Kiera was telling Abby that Alexa's going to do the choreographing?
I think Abby kind of felt she seems to feel offended at first, and well, no, not Abby, Gianna felt a little offended.
Yes,
like,
you see that in her expression.
You heard Gianna said that music wasn't approved, and I was like, "Whoa, Gianna!"
She don't get sassy like that.
She had her sassy pants on, but I mean, I can kind of. I don't know. I see both sides. It's kind of like one of those things where it's like, you know, you're coming into the ALDC, like, you know, Gianna's the choreographer, but now you want her to be choreographed by someone else, but still under ALDC. That's kind of like a slap in the face a little bit. So I kind of fell for Gianna, but then at the same time, I was thinking like, well, that's one less thing you have to choreograph.
Yeah, that's true. And one less thing that can be blamed on Abby and Gianna if it doesn't go right.
Yeah.
Maybe she was secretly relieved. Abby and Gianna probably were.
She could have been. Yeah. I just think at this point we've like revisited all of these scenarios and just like with a different kid in a different setting. You know what I mean? Because next we've got Jeanette and Ava talking about the praying mantis number. And about how Ava has been like extremely like underestimated, and they throw it back to the scene where Abby's calling her a praying mantis with her arms, which is like despicable.
Can I just say?
Yeah.
Yes, Tony Moore.
Ava and Jeanette, give up that comment. Like, that comment was said
you.
so long
Yes.
ago. And also, the last time you did something, it was towards Abby, and it was because of that comment. So now, every time you do a solo, is it going to be, well, we want to make sure we take hurtful words and turn them into... Who cares?
You did that already. You took the hurtful words, you turned them into positivity.
And she won.
Like, okay, like, let's move on. What I absolutely cannot stand is when people use one thing that Abby has said and they keep using that over and over again for their storyline to be on the show. Come up with something else.
Right.
Agreed.
How about you come up with the fact that you're taking over the candy apples? Let that be your storyline. And then you can say, you know what? We're gonna do this this solo and we're gonna call it Praying Mantis. And you're going to embody a praying mantis. With all your long limbs and arms, you are just going to give us praying mantis. and not let it be because, well, remember when Abby said,
Exactly.
and then your daughter's arms, their legs.
That was so long ago at this point.
It's like, get it up.
No, and Ava doesn't need it to be relived. If it was so painful for her, then why do we keep bringing it up and up and up again?
This is my thing. If it's the producers pushing this, let's bring that storyline up again. Or even if it's her mom pushing it, fine. I'd hate to see Ava go through this again. To even have to pretend like she's still reliving it. Like,
keep dragging her
for
through
the girls.
mud, Mom. Like, just
And not to be hurtful, but just observant. By you doing something called praying mantis, you're actually, showing that what Abby said is kind of true.
Oh, especially with that costume.
Yeah. Embrace your long limbs. You know what I mean? Embrace the fact that you're tall. Like, I mean, all that can be used to her advantage. Like, she's a tall, gorgeous girl and dancer.
Well,
like,
I think
use that.
the solo was supposed to embrace that.
Don't
right?
let it be about.
But don't
a
wear
comment that Abby
green.
said.
Don't wear weird green outfits.
And just while we're in this anyway, and what we saw and didn't see what we had time for, the other mothers had a big problem with Jeanette taking over the team. From what we heard from, she's the one, the one with the short blonde hair.
Yeah, Chloe's
I
mom.
apologize. Yes, Chloe's mom. She told us that the other mothers did not agree with Jeanette taking over the team, and there must have been a whole scuffle and a whole thing, and we didn't see any of that.
Well, who else would have taken over the team?
Well, right, and where the heck is Kathy?
And where's
anyway?
Kathy?
Where
Kathy was like,
she?
I'm not leaving Pittsburgh.
Yeah, so we really could have fleshed that storyline out a little bit more than beat this praying mantis thing to death again.
they could have just developed so many more things, except, they didn't need to do the praying man. Like, I would never name a number that.
No.
And then at the end, she's like acting like the praying mantis.
The total praying mantis move at the end.
Where's my...
Yeah.
But
Pretty good.
Oh, no, actually, it was more like, can you see me?
Hey,
For our podcast listeners, he's doing it really, really well.
he's doing a really good move.
That hurt.
As our listener Kay says, at some point it gets old.
Well,
Yeah.
it gets extremely
Kay.
old.
And Maddie Alex says, okay, let's move on from Ava. Next.
And moving on.
I just wanted to touch on when Kalani.
Touching on.
Thank you, Mr. Moore.
You're welcome. Touching on.
Should we look at that picture again of Tony and his alter ego?
His alter ego. He must have had a Diet Coke too before this session. Kiera was very hard on Kalani when she was in her rehearsal. Like, Kiera was like over the top and saying like, "That's embarrassing," and you've already done it 5 times. You should have gotten it by now.
I'm sorry, but in that scene, Kiera went way too far for me.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're just giving your daughter negative reinforcement. You need to leave the room.
It was hate.
She just doesn't
Was it
know how to.
hate?
It
Or
was the
it
first
true?
time that but it was the first time that we've really seen what Kiera and Kalani's rapport is like. We haven't gotten a lot of taste of what their dynamic is, or the two of them in a room while she's rehearsing. This was the first time, and I'm wondering if that's how the conversation always goes.
Or if Kiera felt obligated because she was being prompted to like participate in the scene. You know what I mean?
Maybe it was intensified.
No? What?
Have you
know.
Have you seen convos like
Spill
that?
it.
No,
behind
I mean,
the
I just knowing Kiera, like, she's not prompted to do anything. Like, that's her. But I feel like it wasn't the way that she said it wasn't as bad as it could have been. Like, she was just like, but she told you 5 times and you still haven't corrected it yet. Like, I felt like it was one of those things where when your mom tells you don't touch the stove, but you keep touching the stove, and she's like, I told you 5 times not to touch the stove.
I don't agree.
And you keep touching it.
On the other hand, if you want someone to do well, I just believe in positive reinforcement. So if I say to you, like, you're not doing well tonight, Tony, and so you need to do better because you're just not doing well.
And then I would.
Does
I should
that
do better.
help you? Does that help you, or does that kind of make you feel defeated? That's, you know what I mean?
No.
How do you feel, Tony?
I should do better.
Okay.
I just feel like at this time in
Someone's gonna hate me.
in Kalani's life, like, has this great opportunity. She's a globally known person, social media. Sometimes you can't have everything all at once. Sometimes you can't be in class and having that great technique and then be performing, out here. It's just hard to like do two things at once sometimes,
Yeah.
And Kalani's been very open about the fact that she's not trying to be an actress or a singer or a social media influencer or a star, a reality star, anything but a world-class dancer.
Right.
That's all she wants to do.
Yeah, so I would like to figure Kalani out because she's very mysterious to me because I don't feel like she's dancing to her full potential. I feel like her spark is like gone a little bit, but I didn't see it with the new choreographer Alexa, and I don't see it sometimes at the ALDC. I did see it when she performed, so I don't know if what that disconnect is, but I would like to figure it out if I could.
Yeah.
Well, it remains to be seen if we will ever get the chance to have that play out more or not.
I'm so upset.
I know.
Someone brought up an interesting point. Maddie Alex said, don't forget that Kiera had Kalani at 19 years old.
Oh, that's true.
That's interesting. She was a young mom.
True. So
Yep.
their dynamic is probably much different than
They're much different than what we perceive or like the other moms because when that interaction between them, it was like Kalani wanted to be like really disrespectful, but then she pulled it back. You could tell she wanted to give her more static.
Can you
Well, but
imagine
she's
what a
also a
different mother
teen.
you would be if you'd had Athena at 19?
I wasn't even ready when I had her, like 2 years ago. I mean, it's just I would not want to do that.
Yeah.
No.
But we have to remember that Kalani is starting to become a teenager, so I think we all reach that age where we get a little sassy. Because she was just kind of like, I am. Okay, well,
A
fine.
lot of sassy.
Yeah. I mean, some of us don't grow out of it, but
Or maybe her home life. Her parents are divorced. I think she's with her mom mostly. I think her dad, like maybe that kind of.
She has a new brother or sister on the way. Let's not forget that Kiera's mood may be affected as well by her health status.
Yeah. So she could have lots of things going on. Okay. Let's get to the competition.
okay.
Yes!
Let's go there.
Let's go to Phoenix!
We are in Phoenix.
Hot in Phoenix.
Here we come.
So let's talk about Ava with her. I know we touched on this, but I thought it was like really intense, and I actually got goosebumps when I watched her. I really liked her performance. I think she's a great dancer and a really beautiful girl. We heard from her a little bit on this episode, which I love hearing from all the girls because you want to get to know like their personality and how they are. I thought that she had that choreography had like cool positions, like in the wide seconds into like cool transitions that I haven't seen, from the other choreography. So that's what I liked about it.
Yeah, we haven't seen great choreography from Jeanette in the past.
Right.
Remember the hip hop thing and stuff.
The
and Ava's other
parachute.
solo I didn't love.
Yeah. Oh.
So
The parachute was
that was
No,
that
that was
Ava.
sorry.
that was that
Forgive
other-
me.
Yeah,
no,
but so
okay.
this was surprisingly great choreography.
It was.
And she pulled it off.
It really showed off her body. I mean, she's one of these people who's so unique physically that if you tap into that and choreograph for it, I mean, she just seems so long.
Yeah.
Right? Long.
It was like that choreography was like a glove and she just like stepped into it, but then it was her own mother that did the choreography, so it just like worked really well, I thought.
I love that analogy, Candice.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you very much.
Working on that alter ego here.
Write that down, the glove analogy. We'll use that later.
The glove analogy.
I thought she did a beautiful job with the piece, and I thought that she definitely elongated her limbs and everything like that. The ending for me was a little awkward.
The last pose.
Yeah, that.
Too literal on the last pose.
What if she would have just done like this at the end, Tony, but then went like...
No, I much would have preferred this. That move.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Whose move was that?
That's how you always end things. You always sit, and then you place, and then you look.
And then
Podcast listeners, this is worth hitting up YouTube for.
Yeah, you gotta check it out.
Tony, after you look, you walk off.
Yeah. Are you crawling?
Well, I couldn't show my face.
She's praying.
I'm mock walking.
Ladies and gentlemen, JJ did have a venti coffee before she arrived at the studio.
I love that Candice is, she's
Diet
such a mom.
Coke.
She's blaming everything on caffeine. now, kids.
Sugar
Yeah.
This is what caffeine does to you.
Is this a good time to ask about your diets?
My diet.
Remember that Red Baron pizza I told you I wanted? Had
Did you
it.
go get it? Yes.
Ate the whole thing.
That's what I like to hear. You deserved it, honey.
Well, let's just say I'm starving and not withering away.
Then you're
So,
still on it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Be that praying mantis that you shall be.
Guys, Candice and Tony are on diet, so please tweet them with your support.
Candice is on a diet. I have failed.
Okay.
I just had a lifestyle change. I was like,
I like that.
yeah, because
I like that.
With the baby, like I would get stressed out and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need something, and I would reach for this and I would reach for that, or I would be giving her like pretzels, and then even if you have like 3, it all adds up. So I just needed to do a lifestyle switch.
So
and
instead
like,
of pretzels,
All that
you
good-
now hand carrots.
well, no, I still hand her pretzels. I just don't have any. I'm just using that as an example.
Yeah.
Like I can have
Well,
a
you should
pretzel.
have pretzels too.
Thank you.
Well, you know, guys, this actually segues into something that I wanted to ask your opinion on, and it's kind of a touchy subject, but with Ava...
I vote yes because no, I'm just kidding.
With Ava...
Are you concerned?
In the solo, well... She had 2 different costumes that we saw in this episode, and one was covering more of her body, and one wasn't. And I just thought when her body isn't covered, it's almost a distraction. And I'm sure that she is a very, very healthy girl. But the truth is that for other young girls watching this who don't dance as much as she does, it's not normal to be healthy and look like that. So I'm just kind of concerned that maybe other people or other young ladies are going to see that and think that they can be healthy and look that way as well. As I'm sure Ava is healthy.
You know,
but that wouldn't be healthy for a lot of young ladies.
I'm really glad you brought that up. I think it's an important thing just to recognize, because I noticed it as well. And I guess the question is she a healthful skinny, or is it, into the realm of unhealthy skinny? And
Well, we have to be, really careful with this, and because it's a very touchy, subject. But it's worth. I can see why it's brought up, but I just feel like she's got that like speedy metabolism.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I just don't think that Jeanette would allow her daughter to like be unhealthy. She seems like on top of that, but it is unique because she is so long.
Right, and I was just more wondering, like, maybe just a costume choice difference. That's my question. That's what I'm trying to conversate about, is like, maybe she should just wear something that covers it up,
Exactly.
and then it wouldn't be distracting.
Yeah.
But I think there are some people who are just naturally thin like that.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And Jeanette is, too.
Yeah.
well, and who dance like 6 hours a day.
But also someone who we all know that is that thin and who has had the same battle is Juliana Rancic. Juliana Rancic gets bombarded with like, oh my God, is she okay? She's so thin, she's so skinny, and people have had to go on there and go to her defense and say, you know what, she will scarf down more food than you, and she just does not.
I used to work there, folks.
Gain
This is
weight,
true.
and she is thin, but like more power to you. Give me that metabolism. I would love to eat 2 Red Baron pizzas and be able to look real thin.
And she's clearly healthy. Her hair looks good. She's gorgeous.
Yeah,
she has
she's
all
got-
the teeth.
She's got glistening skin, but actually Jeanette contacted me and told me that her daughter is actually very...
Jeanette contacted you?
Through the comments, she did.
Oh.
Just now?
No.
I was going to say.
Before.
Dang, girl.
Before, she contacted me and she said my daughter is very, very healthy. She eats and eats and eats.
Well, there
she
it is, guys.
Yeah,
That's
she just
great.
has a really.
I feel like all that
You
was
know what?
followed by
I'm just envious of that metabolism.
But you know what, you guys? It's okay to be just concerned, and especially with love.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So-
I was
and
just,
not
and
with
I was just more
criticism.
concerned
Yeah.
with the other young ladies watching who wouldn't be able to attain that in a healthy way. I'm sure that
Right.
Ava is healthy, but that's not realistic.
The moral
I
of
wish it
this
was.
story is, kids, eat all your vegetables and drink your milk.
And your Red Baron pizzas.
And your water. So
and exercise daily.
You guys, we need to push along because they put up the 10-minute thing like a little while ago.
But we're the #1 show.
We are.
go.
Wait a minute. We're the #1 show at AFTERBUZZ TV right now?
Who's the #1 show on AfterBuzz TV?
#1 show at AfterBuzz TV. Is it? What? Okay, you guys, we got to talk about Kalani's solo.
Yes.
Man, I loved it.
I thought it was great too. Oh my god, like the way her legs are and how they extend and a lot of the tricks that she was doing.
Very
advanced. She really pushed herself with this solo.
Well, did you guys think it was better choreography than what we've been seeing her given by
It
Abby
was
and Gianna?
interesting choreography.
Yes, it was interesting in the way that she would transition to like the other steps, and then I saw her doing the almost like slow motion lunge type thing, and then I thought that was kind of contemporary and cool, and it was just a lot of like placement types that were really demanding.
Very age appropriate.
Hey, you guys, we have a picture from her dance. I felt that this was not only great choreography for her, guys, but it was the tone. What I saw from her was her personality come forward.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been waiting for. Like, I think Alexa said she's really a lyrical dancer, and she found the drama. Do we have a picture of a single dancer?
Oh, he just arrived back in the booth.
Oh, okay, that's good. Hey, you know what? Engineers need Baron pizzas too.
Exactly. I hope he cooked me one.
So that's what I thought was great. Like she was just present.
Yeah, yeah, and it I think this this dance made you just focus on what she was doing.
There she is.
Yeah.
Look at that expression.
Wow, that's gorgeous.
It's the Kalani face.
Yeah. I don't
It's
know.
like, what?
That's beautiful. You guys, she's
Girl
just
doesn't want to be an actress, but I think she could.
Yeah.
she's just perfection. That muscle tone, her body, not placement, proportion. She's proportioned perfectly.
See, and I think she was dancing with her entire. We've talked about this before. How ALDC is so good at this. Her entire body.
Yeah.
Including her spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys heard Alexa say at one point during the episode, it was very in the background and it wasn't captioned, but she did say that she's judged Ava before. So Alexa knew what to expect from Ava, and maybe that was part of stepping this up as well.
Okay, good point. Yeah. Okay, so backstage there is a big controversy because this junior group, the teen group starts at 12. So with Nia being 13 and Kalani being 13, that pulls the average age up into the teen category. So therefore, Abby makes the decision to bring Kalani out of the group.
I did not have a problem with this, and I don't think that it came from a malicious thing. Kalani, you had a solo. It would not have been fair to pull Nia out. You know what I mean? Like someone had to get pulled out in order to keep them in a junior division. If you had stayed in, you would have been competing against people who were much older than the people in your team. Yeah. So it wasn't a malicious thing.
No, but it would have definitely been decided long before this.
Exactly.
And I think that
it would have been.
Yeah,
Yes.
it should have been decided long before when they entered. You see the category that it starts at 12 and up.
Yeah, Kiera claims that Abby never had Kalani's costume fixed up or whatever. What's the word when they do the fixing and stuff and make sure it all is
Seamstress?
good? Yeah, like they didn't have
Tailor?
her costume finalized. Right. So apparently Abby never had any intention of having Kalani in the group dance.
Well, then
I
they
don't
knew
think
already.
so.
Either way, it was very suspicious in that it was obvious that, Abby strikes back, right? Abby holds a grudge.
Yeah.
If you make
Well, of course
Abby
it's gonna
mad,
be
you're going to get it later.
Abby will always have the last word, and these moms know that. So, okay, moving on to famous, infamous. What'd you think of that, Christy?
They weren't together at all.
No.
Not even a little bit.
There
And I
were
know we
times
get
where some people
spoiled
were
with the ALDC,
behind.
but yeah.
And again, another story towards Abby.
Yeah, dude, let it go. Focus on yourself. Stay in your own lane.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was all right. And why don't they ever have good costumes on those girls? Is it
that's
like
true.
a requirement?
I didn't the costume. I got excited because I thought it was going to be like 5 swans from Swan Lake because I thought that they were swans, but then I was like, okay, well that doesn't go with famous, infamous, so I was confused.
Yeah.
But I like that Ava was the featured dancer.
Course.
She would have to be because she
So
stands.
tall.
Yeah, she stands out. Thank you, Tony.
You're welcome.
She seems a little older than us.
Yeah, and I thought that it was good, but I don't think it was memorable.
No. That's a good way to put it.
Because, in fact, when you brought it up, I totally forgot they performed.
They did.
Oh, well, I want to say really quick that, did you guys notice the announcer, like, with the crazy, and coming up, the panic room.
Oh,
really?
It was, like, hilarious.
Was it really drama?
Might have been voiceover.
I liked it.
But it was great intensity for a dance that we were about to see.
Yeah.
It was really good.
It was good.
Good panic room.
Yeah.
Wow. We have a picture of Panic Room too. Oh, nice.
They were strong.
So I love those. I love that detail with the earrings. I love the lipstick color, the headband.
It was really intense.
Yes.
It was very intense.
And the girls dance stronger and sharper than I think we've ever seen them.
Yeah,
And poor Maddie didn't get out of
She
the
didn't get
panic
out?
room.
Oh, she didn't get out of the panic. I was like, what?
She didn't get out of the panic room.
She was like, "Don't leave me."
But she has a commercial to shoot.
Sure.
It was super. I mean, they do a lot of lyrical, edgy stuff, but this was unique, I thought.
Yeah.
And really edgy.
I
Cool.
like seeing something else besides the two-piece lyrical. I love Maddie's front aerial reach at the end. That was a really great
cool.
ending. Yeah, but all together, like, they just really got the storyline.
Yeah.
And you could really tell, like, what they were trying to portray.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of people in the chat roll are saying the costumes look like Bjork.
What's that?
Yeah.
Bjork in Infamous, yes, when Bjork wore
Dance
the...
Moms fans know Bjork.
Well,
listen, who
yes, they do.
cannot forget the Bjork swan dress that she wore? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow,
I thought the same
that's
thing.
taking it
I thought
back.
the same thing.
Dave Hemke said they look like 80s refugees.
Well, they're beautiful. We can't say that.
Refugees.
Pretty little
Prettiest refugees I've ever seen.
Is that a
Yes.
song?
Okay, so awards. Okay, so
No
we got to
surprise.
wrap up soon. So and
We
know,
won!
I know
Surprise!
Yeah. I know we have some news and gossip.
Yeah.
Ava, 4th place. Kalani, heavyweight belt champion, 1st place.
So fun.
Yeah. Now she's not even with the other kids. She's backstage. Apparently she's embarrassed, and apparently after she got her 1st place belt, she pounds the pavement and leaves right away.
That was
She decided
weird.
before
Overreacting.
awards. Kiera
Yeah.
made that very clear on social media because with the editing you couldn't quite tell. But she says that Kalani before the awards even said, "I'm done with this. I can't do this anymore. I'm over it. I'm gone."
Way too much pressure on that girl this week.
Yeah. So, yes, that's it. Is that the
All right,
end?
Any quick...
Sorry. Infamous 3rd place, 1st place, Panic Room. And Kalani leaves and is done.
Check Maddie out in a new Target ad coming out soon. You will also see another familiar little face, Asia Monet Ray, dancing in the background. And a little bit of controversy this week. Maddie actually told fans to watch Pretty Little Liars when she was on instead of Dance Moms and straight up called it the, quote, better show. So
read
shots
that.
have been fired, folks, and we will see what happens with her, Kalani, Abby, everybody. Take us out, girl.
Oh, wait. Also, Shane Davidson, who interviewed Jeff Collins, actually interviewed me this week, and he wants you to make sure you check it out. So make sure you check out his YouTube channel, Shane Davidson Presents, and you can see an interview with me.
All right.
Thanks for making us
Yes.
number 1, you guys.
Yes.
Join us next week for episode 28.
Yeah, we'll see you soon, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.